Been several months since I've been able to get back to this thing, so now it's all covered in dust. Just started unburying it, getting ready to pull it out and put it in the work spot again, so we can actually get to installing this motor and redoing some framework, getting everything laid out. Haven't put up a video in several months because I got my whole attention turned and shifted over to a boat that I was rebuilding for a while, and had a father-in-law hand me a trashy old boat trailer, which I turned around. I did a couple videos of it. I'm not sure how completely I documented, but I might throw up something and at least a few good stills and some commentary on what I did, and whatever video I did take of it, I'll stick together. So maybe you'll see the boat video down the line too, up on the channel. But for right now, we're getting ready to unbury this thing, pull it out of the garage, and hopefully get back to it soon. Start putting things together some more. We had a few little changes. My wonderful brother decided that he'd bring me a jump seat from a Jeep. So what we were gonna do is make a 2-seater, and now it appears we're gonna make a 4-seater. So we're gonna extend the frame a little bit out, a little bit further, and build it up so we can throw this back seat in there too. So, you know, project's always kind of getting a little morphing here and there as we go along. So we'll see where it ends when it ends. You get to watch as it happens. All my friends say this is a psychotic idea, and I pretty much agree with them. So we'll see if I drive myself nuts, and maybe everybody else who's watching this stuff too. Hope you all enjoy it. And there we have it, folks. Moved. And not too badly aligned for just shoving it into place. And now we're back into a lineup where we can start actually working on it again. And have back my garage and a little bit of space. Let's see here. It's lining up this thing for building in frame in the rear end. So we can mount that big old K-frame to the bottom, tie it all together. That's our next proposition here. We shall see how that all works out. But, so far I feel pretty good. Looks like it lined up reasonably well for just rolling it up here. We'll go the rest of the way another day. Lots of fun doing everything by yourself, but it's doable. Time and patience. All right, we're back with the Dune Buggy. Been a long while since we've been able to work on it. As I mentioned in the last little vid, we pulled it back out of the garage to our little work spot here in the front under the tent. And we just got back from the metal shop, picked up some 3x3 square tube, and are doing our preliminary layout of the new rear frame rails to begin figuring out how we're gonna lay in this back end and attach it. So we use this old receiver that we've shrunk down, gonna weld it back together into a solid piece, and it's gonna bolt right through where this lower C-clamp is, right through into the K-frame there. And then we've got a plate here to weld to it, so we can tie in the rear the rear frame rail. Well, if I could speak, it'd be great. Tired lifting all these pieces of metal everywhere. That shoots straight forward and actually comes really close to lining up pretty well with our front engine mount here. So we may end up reinforcing that and figuring out exactly how to get it lined in. And then we're going to come up and we might end up notching this front end a little bit in order to tie this right into where the torsion bar tubing and that section of the frame ties in. And that'll be our main connection there. all laid out like this on this side, and then roughly the same idea on the other side, although we do not have that engine mount on this side. We've got the rear, I think they call it a K-frame bolt there, and second one up there, and attaching into the torsion bar tube, part of the frame in the VW. That'll tie this off. We're going to end up with obviously quite a bit of excess tubing. Strangely though, these are 10-foot lengths out of a 20-foot full-length tube, and it'll be like 5 foot 5 inches, I think, is where we're at. So I couldn't do it with just 110. And the way the metal store sells stuff is in 10-foot lengths, so that's where we're at. So yeah, we're literally just the tiniest bit over 5 feet to reach back here. But that should work out pretty well. I think if we notch that front end up here in that spot and be able to shift it just a little bit in, then we can center these bolts into that spot as well. That might give us a little better welding into that spot also. But we're sitting nice and straight line back, and got plenty of space there for the tranny, well above the connections for everything to have plenty of space to move around suspension wise. This thing's primarily a street buggy, so I might dirt road it once in a while, but I'm certainly not off-roading it in any hardcore fashion. As you can probably tell by the suspension system, even up front, it's standard VW. It's nothing exciting. And I've only, taken it down a few washboard trails and stuff in its whole lifetime with me. Don't plan on changing that anytime soon. But once we get this main frame rail in and stuff, then we can start working on bringing down the roll cage and tying into these strut towers, figuring out where we're going to tie everything into the back end. But this gives us a huge jump, and we should have more than enough heft to hold that thing together with what we got here. And with the extra that we have up there, we may end up figuring out some other tie together. Might end up putting a piece of this tube up on top here as a block to tie into that engine stand mount right there. We will see. Anyway, onward and upward.